Hi, everyone. Today, I want to share something truly special with you. It's a book that I absolutely loved reading and that has the power to completely shift your mindset about abundance and wealth. This isn't your typical financial guide about saving pennies or picking stocks. We are talking about your most intimate and often most toxic relationship, your relationship with money. This book is called Happy Money by Ken Honda, who is known as the Zen Millionaire. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself a very provocative question? Does your money love you? This isn't a metaphor. It's an invitation to look at how you treat money. Do you talk about it with anger, frustration, and fear, or with gratitude and respect? Most of us are in a constant battlefield with our finances, feeling resentful every time a bill arrives. But money, just like any other energy, responds to your vibration. It is a messenger, and it brings back exactly the energy you deposit into it. In this video, we're going to dive deep into how to transform unhappy money into happy money. We'll explore how your childhood beliefs are still running your bank account today, and how you can start speaking the language of abundance. If you've been working hard but feel like money is always slipping through your fingers, it's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of energetic alignment. Let's fix that relationship once and for all, so that money finally starts smiling back at you. If you're ready to stop the struggle and start a beautiful, loving relationship with your wealth, please subscribe to the channel. I'm here to help you navigate these deep waters of manifestation and mindset in a way that's simple and real. Join our community and hit the bell icon so we can grow our abundance together throughout 2026. If you want to read the full philosophy of Ken Honda and start your own happy money journey, I've placed the link for Happy Money in the first pinned comment below. This book is a life changer for anyone who wants to feel peace and joy regarding their finances. Go check it out. 1. The secret personality of your wallet. Let's start with a question that might sound a bit strange at first, but I want you to really sit with it. Does your money love you? I know, we are used to thinking of money as just dead matter, paper, coins, or numbers on a digital screen. But I want you to shift your perspective for a moment and imagine money as if it were a person. Imagine that your bank account has a personality, feelings, and an opinion about you. If you were a person, would you want to hang out with someone who is constantly complaining about you? Would you stay close to someone who sees you as a burden, who curses every time you show up, or who is terrified every second that you're going to leave? Of course not. You'd run away as fast as you could. And that is exactly what money does when we treat it with unhappy energy. It's not just about what you do with your money, it's about how you feel about it. Money is much more than a tool for trade. It is a direct reflection of your inner state. Ken Honda, who is often called the Zen Millionaire, teaches us that money is actually a messenger. It carries the exact energy you deposit into it. If you pay for your groceries with a heavy heart, feeling a pinch or a pain of losing that money, you are sending out what he calls unhappy money. You are literally imbuing that currency with the energy of lack and resentment. On the other hand, if you pay with a sense of gratitude for the food you're about to eat and for the ability to provide for yourself, you are releasing happy money into the world. The universe is like a giant, high-definition mirror. What you send out is exactly what comes back to you. If you treat money with contempt, it will show you contempt. If you pursue it with the frantic energy of desperation, it will flee, just like a person would if you were acting needy or obsessed in a relationship. Most of our struggles with wealth don't actually start in our bank accounts. They start in the deep recesses of our childhood. Psychologists and experts like Honda agree that our fundamental blueprint for wealth is mostly formed by the time we are 7 years old. Think back to your family dinner table for a moment. What were the money conversations like? Was there a sense of ease and abundance, or was there a heavy cloud of stress every time a bill arrived? Many of us grew up hearing phrases like, money is the root of all evil, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy and dishonest. You might think these were just harmless things parents say, but to a 5-year-old's brain, these are absolute truths. They are like software being installed in your subconscious mind that will run your life for the next 40 years. If your inner child deeply believes that having money makes you a bad person or takes you away from your values, your subconscious will act as a silent saboteur. It will make sure you stay broke just to keep you good and safe according to that old programming. I've seen this happen so many times. People work 3 jobs, they take every course on investing, and they still end up with the same empty bank account at the end of the month. It's not that they're not trying, it's that their internal thermostat is set to a low temperature. They are unconsciously pushing money away because at a deep level, they don't think they deserve it or they are afraid of the responsibility that comes with it. We are taught that to have money, we must suffer, grind, and sacrifice our health and happiness. But here is the secret the Zen Millionaire discovered. While focused action is important, torture is not a requirement for wealth. Think about your hobbies for a second. When you're doing something you truly love, maybe it's cooking a great meal, working in your garden, or losing yourself in a creative project, does it feel like a struggle? No, the time just flies by. You are in a state of flow, which is a high vibrational state. When you align your natural passions with your income, money starts to love you back because you actually love the process of earning it. The energy you put into your work becomes the energy that money brings back to your wallet. If you hate your job and curse every hour you spend there, you are receiving unhappy money. You are essentially trading your life force for a frequency that will never make you feel rich, no matter how many zeros are in your balance. The language you speak determines the reality you live in. I want you to listen to your own thoughts today. Are you speaking the language of abundance or the language of scarcity? Scarcity is the language of not enough. It sounds like, I can't afford that. Why is everything so expensive lately? Or, I'll never get ahead. Abundance, however, is the language of plenty. It sounds like, I'm grateful for what I have. There is always more where that came from, and I love how money supports my lifestyle. You have to be brutally honest with yourself here. How do you feel when you open your wallet or look at your bank app? If you feel a literal knot in your stomach or a tightening in your chest, that is a physical signal from your money. It's telling you that your relationship is toxic and that it's time for a breakup with those old, limiting scripts you've been carrying since you were a child. In this first part of our masterclass on happy money, I want you to internalize 3 main pillars that will change everything. First, money is not an object, it is energy. It is a direct, living reflection of your current emotional state. Second, your childhood stories are the invisible walls of your current financial reality. You aren't being held back by the economy or your boss, you are being held back by a 7-year-old's version of the world. Third, money is a social being. It flows to where it is welcomed, respected, and appreciated. It's a simple shift in perspective, but it is the absolute foundation for every other financial move you will ever make. If you don't fix this primary internal relationship, no amount of financial planning or stock market tips will save you. You cannot build a castle on a foundation made of sand and fear. So let's start fresh together. Let's decide right now in this moment that money is not the problem, your relationship with it is. And the incredible news is that you are the one in charge of that relationship. You can choose to start loving your money today, not in a greedy way, but in a way that acknowledges money as a supportive friend. Start seeing it as a partner that helps you eat good food, live in a safe home, and share gifts with the people you love. When you change the way you look at the dollars in your hand, those dollars will literally start to change their behavior toward you. It is a universal law, a law of resonance, and it's finally time you made it work for your benefit. I want you to imagine your money as a guest in your house. When it arrives, do you welcome it with a smile and say, "I'm so glad you're here"? Or do you immediately start worrying about when it's going to leave? Most of us are so focused on the exit that we forget to enjoy the arrival. This creates a vibration of anxiety that money can feel. It makes the money want to leave even faster. To attract happy money, you have to become a happy host. You have to create an internal environment where money feels safe, valued, and useful. This isn't about being irresponsible, it's about being energetically aligned. Another huge block we need to clear is the idea that money is dirty or money changes people. Money doesn't change you, it magnifies you. If you are a kind, generous person, more money will just allow you to be more kind and more generous. If you are an unhappy person, more money might just make you more unhappily comfortable. But money itself is neutral. It is the happy or unhappy tag you give it that determines its effect on your life. By choosing the path of the Zen Millionaire, you are choosing to peel off the old labels of stress and evil and replace them with joy and contribution. This is the first step toward a legendary life in 2026. We often think that we need more money to be happy, but the truth is the exact opposite. We need to be happy with our money to have more of it. It's a subtle but massive difference. If you can't find joy in the $20 you have now, you won't find joy in 20 million later. The frequency of more can only grow from the frequency of enough. This is why gratitude is so central to this philosophy. Gratitude is the signal that tells the universe, I understand the value of what I have and I am ready for more. Without it, the flow of money becomes a stagnant pond instead of a vibrant river. As we move forward, I want you to start noticing every time you think a negative thought about wealth. Don't judge yourself for it, just notice it. Say, oh, that's just my old programming talking. Then consciously replace it with a thought of happy money. Say, I am open to a new, loving relationship with abundance. This simple act of awareness is how you begin to rewrite the software of your subconscious mind. You are taking the steering wheel back from your childhood self and moving toward a future where money is your greatest ally. Remember, the goal here isn't just to have a high balance in your account. The goal is to have peace in your heart. When you have happy money, you sleep better, you treat people better, and you become more creative. You stop being a slave to the grind and start being a master of the flow. This is the shift from survival to sovereignty. It all starts with that one question: does your money love you? By the time we finish this study, the answer will be a resounding, joyful yes. 2. The flow and the smile. Circulation versus stagnation. Now that we've established that money has a personality and responds to your energy, let's talk about how that energy actually moves. Ken Honda uses a beautiful and very simple metaphor to explain this, the metaphor of water. Think about a river for a moment. A river is vibrant, clear, and full of life, precisely because it is moving. The water flows in and it flows out. It doesn't try to hold on to itself. It trusts the path. Now, think about what happens when that water stops moving, when it gets trapped in a hole and becomes a stagnant pond. Within a few days, the water starts to smell, it becomes murky, and life begins to disappear from it. It dies because it lost its flow. Money works exactly the same way. It was never meant to be static. It was designed to circulate, to move, to be the lifeblood of human interaction. When people talk about financial security, they often think about building a massive dam to trap as much money as possible. They save out of fear, they hoard out of anxiety, and they treat their bank account like a fortress. But when you hold on to money with a closed fist because you're terrified of it leaving, you are effectively turning your financial life into a stagnant pond. That money becomes unhappy money. Even if you have millions, if that money is sitting there without a purpose, fueled by the fear of what if I lose it, it will start to rot your peace of mind. You'll become a slave to your savings instead of a master of your wealth. To have happy money, you must learn the art of the flow, understanding that for more to come in, some must go out, and it must go out with a smile. This leads us to the concept of the smiling money. Ken Honda suggests that when money moves with joy and lightness, it becomes magnetic. Imagine your money smiling at you every time you open your wallet. Is that a reality for you, or does your money look stressed and exhausted? This smile isn't about the amount, it's about the intention behind the transaction. There is a massive difference between paying a bill because you have to and paying it because you choose to. Honor the service you received. When you pay for your electricity, for example, can you see that money as a thank you note to the people who keep your lights on and your house warm? When you do that, your money leaves you with a smile, and because of the laws of resonance we've discussed before, that smiling energy is exactly what will return to you. One of the biggest hurdles in this flow is our deep-seated difficulty with receiving. I see this all the time, especially with women and creative souls. We are often taught that it is better to give than to receive, but that is only half of the truth. In the universe, giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have an exhale without an inhale. If you are a great giver but a terrible receiver, you are effectively blocking the flow of abundance. Think about it. When someone offers you a compliment, do you say thank you and truly feel it? Or do you brush it off and say, oh, it was nothing? When someone offers to pay for your lunch or gives you a gift, do you feel a pang of guilt or a need to immediately pay them back? That guilt is a wall. It's a signal to the universe that you don't feel worthy of the flow. If you can't receive a simple compliment with an open heart, how do you expect to receive a massive financial breakthrough? To the Zen Millionaire, being a good receiver is a sacred skill. It means standing in your worth and saying, yes, I am open to the gifts of life. When you receive money, whether it's your salary, a found penny on the street, or a surprise bonus, you need to welcome it with the same enthusiasm you'd show a dear friend arriving for a visit. If you receive with hesitation or unworthiness, you are telling the money that it's not really welcome, and it will find someone else who appreciates its presence more. We also need to look at how we spend. Spending is the exhale of your financial life. Many people spend with a sense of losing something. They look at the price tag and feel a small sting of pain. This is what we call painful spending, and it creates a vibration of lack. But what if you changed that? What if every time you swiped your card, you did it with the conscious intention of blessing the recipient? When you buy a coffee, you are supporting the barista, the coffee farmer, and the person who transported the beans. You are part of a global chain of support. When you spend with the awareness that your money is doing good, it leaves your hand with a high frequency. It carries your blessing, and as it circulates through the world, it eventually finds its way back to the source, which is you, bringing more of that blessing with it. A lot of people ask me, but what about my debts? How can I be happy about owing money? This is where the Zen approach gets really interesting. Ken Honda suggests that we shouldn't ignore our debts, but we should change the energy we give them. A debt is simply a past gift that you haven't fully acknowledged yet. You have that credit card debt because you were able to buy things you wanted or needed at a time when you didn't have the cash. The bank trusted you. The merchants provided for you. Instead of seeing your debt as a monster chasing you, try seeing it as a contract of gratitude. When you pay your monthly installment, don't do it with resentment. Do it with a sense of, I am honoring my word and thanking the system that supported me when I needed it. This shift alone can break the cycle of unhappy debt and open the doors for the money to flow back in to clear those balances much faster than you imagined. It's all about the intention of the heart. You see, money is like a magnifying glass for your emotions. If you are afraid, money will give you more reasons to be afraid. If you are joyful, money will provide more opportunities for joy. This is why some people who win the lottery lose everything within a couple of years, because they had a lottery win but a poverty mindset. Their internal flow was clogged with fear and unworthiness, so the money couldn't stay. It wasn't happy money for them. It was a source of stress. On the other hand, someone with a wealth mindset can lose everything and get it all back in record time because they know how to tap into the flow. They aren't attached to the water in the pond, they are connected to the river itself. In our 2026 reality, where everything moves at the speed of thought, mastering this flow is more important than ever. We are moving away from a world of accumulation and into a world of circulation. The most successful people of the future won't be the ones with the biggest vaults, but the ones who can move the most energy through their lives. This requires a radical level of trust. It requires you to believe that the universe is an infinite source and that you don't need to clutch your dollars to be safe. You are safe because you are part of the flow. When you live in this state of financial fluidity, life becomes a dance. You stop worrying about losing money because you know that money is a recurring guest. Think about your daily transactions. Each one is an opportunity to practice this. When you go to the grocery store, can you feel the joy of being able to afford fresh food? When you pay your rent or mortgage, can you feel the gratitude for the shelter that protects your family? Even when you pay your taxes, can you find a way to be grateful for the infrastructure, the roads, and the society you live in? I know, it sounds hard, but this is the PhD level of happy money. If you can be grateful for the money that leaves you to support the whole, you become a vital part of that whole, and the whole will always take care of its vital parts. I want to invite you to do a small exercise this week. Every time you receive any amount of money, even if it's just a few cents, stop for 3 seconds and say, "Thank you," in your heart. Feel the warmth of that arrival. And every time you pay for something, no matter how small, say, "Go with a smile and come back with friends." It might feel silly at first, but you are literally retraining your nervous system to move from a survival protection mode to a creative receptive mode. You are telling your brain that money is a friend, a welcome visitor, and a source of joy. Remember, the goal is not to be a bank. The goal is to be a conduit. A bank holds, a conduit channels. When you become a conduit for happy money, the universe can move vast amounts of resources through you because it knows you won't trap them or poison them with fear. You become a hub of abundance. This is how you start to see those miracles where money shows up from unexpected sources or where opportunities seem to drop into your lap. It's not luck, it's the law of gender and flow in action. You have harmonized your internal soil to be so receptive and so nourishing that every seed of intent you plant grows with supernatural speed. So let's stop being ponds and start being rivers. Let's release the fear of the empty account and embrace the joy of the circulating life. Your money wants to smile, it wants to dance, and it wants to love you. All you have to do is open the gates and let it flow. When you do, you'll realize that true wealth isn't about how much you've kept, but about how much life you've been able to experience and share through the beautiful, happy medium of money. 3. The Arigato strategy, the gratitude frequency. We've arrived at the very heart of the Ken Honda philosophy, and honestly, this is the part that changed my life the most. It's a concept so simple that many people dismiss it, but it's so powerful that it can rewrite your entire financial destiny. It's the strategy of arigato money, or thank you money. Now, you might be thinking, sure, I'm grateful when I win the lottery or get a raise, but that's not what we're talking about here. The real secret, the master level of this practice, is being just as grateful for the money that leaves your life as you are for the money that enters it. Yes, I'm talking about being grateful for your bills, your taxes, and even those unexpected expenses that usually make you want to scream. Think about the last time you sat down to pay your bills. What was the vibe in the room? For most people, it's a heavy cloud of frustration, a long sigh, and a feeling that something is being taken from them. You look at the electricity bill and you think, ugh, another $100 gone. You look at the rent and feel a pinch of resentment. This energy is what Ken Honda calls unhappy money. When you pay with that energy, you are literally telling the universe that life is hard, that you are a victim of your expenses, and that you are losing. But the arigato strategy invites you to flip the script entirely. It challenges you to see those bills not as burdens, but as evidence of the beautiful, comfortable life you are already living. Let's get practical here, like we're just chatting over coffee. Think about your electricity bill for a second. Instead of seeing it as money leaving, try seeing it as a thank you note for the fact that you have light, that you can charge your phone, that you have a refrigerator keeping your food fresh, and that you have a warm or cool home. You use those services all month long. The company trusted you, they provided the service first, and now they are simply asking for the exchange. When you say arigato, thank you, as you click that pay button, you're acknowledging the value you've already received. You are transforming a moment of loss into a moment of recognition. You are telling your subconscious mind, I am a person who enjoys electricity and I am a person who has the means to pay for it. That is a high-frequency signal of abundance. I remember the first time I tried this with my taxes. Like most people, I used to complain about how much the government was taking, but then I realized if I'm paying a lot of taxes, it means I'm making a lot of money. It means I'm a successful participant in society. I started saying, thank you, money, for the roads I drive on, the schools in my neighborhood, and the safety I enjoy. Suddenly, the pain of paying disappeared. I wasn't a victim anymore, I was a contributor. And here's the magic part. When you stop resisting the flow out, the flow in starts to move much faster. By saying arigato to the money leaving, you are keeping the door of your heart open. You aren't clutching your wealth in fear, which means there's plenty of room for new wealth to rush in and fill the space. This is what Ken Honda calls the arigato in, arigato out cycle. It's a continuous loop of appreciation. When someone pays you, whether it's a client, your boss, or a friend returning $5, you say arigato. You feel the joy of being rewarded for your value. And when you pay someone else, you say arigato for the value they provided to you. This creates a vibrational halo around your finances. You become a person who is constantly in a state of thank you. And if you know anything about the law of attraction, you know that gratitude is the ultimate state of receiver. It is the most magnetic frequency in the universe. You can't be grateful and feel lack at the same time. It's neurologically impossible. So by choosing gratitude, you are literally forcing your brain out of poverty mode. Let's talk about that morning coffee again, because it's such a perfect everyday example. When you hand over those few dollars for your latte, don't just think about the $3 leaving your account. Think, arigato, money, for this delicious treat. Thank you to the barista who made it, and thank you for the 5 minutes of peace I'm about to enjoy. When you do this, you aren't just buying a drink, you are investing in your own joy. You are telling the universe that you are worthy of small pleasures and that you appreciate the medium of exchange that makes them possible. This turns a mundane transaction into a spiritual practice. It makes your money happy money because it left your hand with a blessing. I've had people ask me, but what if I really don't have enough? How can I be grateful when I'm struggling to make ends meet? And my answer, and Ken's answer, is that this is exactly when you need it the most. Gratitude isn't a reward for being rich, it's the strategy to become rich. If you wait until you have $1 million to be grateful, you'll never get there, because the energy of not having enough will keep you stuck exactly where you are. You have to find something to be grateful for right now, even if it's just the $5 in your pocket that allows you to buy a loaf of bread. Say arigato for that bread. Feel the abundance of having food for today. That small spark of genuine gratitude is the seed that will grow into a forest of wealth. It's about reconditioning your mind to focus on what is there instead of what is missing. This arigato practice also helps you clear what I call financial resentment. Many of us carry deep-seated anger towards certain expenses. Maybe it's alimony, an old debt, or a high-interest loan. That resentment acts like a clog in your pipes. It makes the money feel heavy and dark. By practicing arigato, you are essentially power washing your financial energy. You are saying, I release the anger and I choose to see the lesson or the value here. Even with a high-interest loan, you can say, thank you for the opportunity I had when I took this money, and thank you for the discipline I am learning as I pay it back. It sounds radical, I know, but do you want to be right about how unfair life is, or do you want to be wealthy and at peace? You can't have both. The arigato path is the path of peace and power. In our fast-paced world of 2026, we do so many transactions automatically. Subscriptions, online shopping, direct debits. We've lost the touch of money. This makes it even more important to bring consciousness back to our finances. I invite you to make it a game. Every time you see a notification on your phone that a payment was made, take one breath and say arigato. Every time you check your balance, say arigato for whatever is there. You are training your brain to see money as a friend that is always visiting. This creates a sense of safety in your nervous system. When your nervous system feels safe, your creative brain, the prefrontal cortex, turns on and you start seeing new ways to make money, new opportunities to grow, and new ideas for your business. You literally become smarter about money because you aren't in a fight or flight response anymore. Ken Honda often tells a story about his mentor who told him that the secret to wealth was simply to arigato your money. At first, Ken didn't believe it. He thought it was too simple. But as he started to do it, everything changed. He realized that the arigato wasn't just a word, it was a state of being. It's the difference between living in a universe of scarcity and a universe of abundance. In a scarcity universe, there is only so much to go around, and if you have some, I have less. In an abundance universe, the one the Zen Millionaire lives in, the more you thank, the more you have. The more you bless the money leaving you, the more it wants to return to such a grateful source. Money has a homing pigeon effect. It always returns to where it was treated best. So let's commit to this arigato strategy. Let's stop being the victims of the bill and start being the masters of the exchange. Your money is a loyal servant and a beautiful friend. Treat it with the respect it deserves. When it leaves, give it a warm goodbye and come back soon. When it arrives, give it a joyful welcome home. This constant vibration of appreciation will do more for your bank account than any high-risk investment ever could. You are building a magnet of gratitude in your heart, and the universe, by law, must respond by bringing you more things to be grateful for. It's not just about the money, it's about the joy, the peace, and the absolute certainty that you are always supported. This week, I want you to literally say arigato out loud at least once a day when you handle money. Feel the vibration of the word. Let it sink into your cells. Notice how your body relaxes when you stop resisting the flow. You are moving into a new era of happy money, where wealth is not a struggle, but a beautiful, glowing conversation between you and the infinite. You've got this, and I can't wait to hear how this small shift starts opening big doors for you. 4. Financial forgiveness and joy. Cleaning your wallet's soul. We have talked about the personality of money, the flow of the river, and the power of the arigato strategy. But now we need to address the elephant in the room, the heavy baggage that almost all of us carry. I'm talking about financial resentment, guilt, and the wounds of the past. If you want to truly live in a state of happy money, you have to perform a deep emotional cleaning. Ken Honda calls this financial forgiveness. This isn't just about forgiving others who might have cheated you or owed you money. It's primarily about forgiving yourself. It's about letting go of those anchors that keep you stuck in the harbor of scarcity when you should be sailing in the ocean of abundance. Think about a mistake you made with money 5, 10, or even 20 years ago. Maybe you invested in a business that failed. Maybe you lent money to a relative who never paid you back. Or maybe you just spent a large sum on something completely useless. Most of us carry that memory like a hot coal in our hands. Every time we think about money, that old pain flares up. We tell ourselves, I'm so stupid with money, or I always make bad choices. This self-blame is like a dark cloud over your wallet. It creates a vibration of unworthiness that prevents new, happy money from finding you. Why would money want to hang out with someone who is constantly beating themselves up over the past? In this final stage of our journey, I want you to imagine that you are carrying a heavy backpack filled with large, jagged stones. Each stone represents a financial regret. There is the bad investment stone, the credit card debt stone, and the someone fooled me stone. You've been trekking up the mountain of your life with this weight, wondering why you're so exhausted. Financial forgiveness is the act of taking that backpack off and leaving it on the trail. You have to realize that the past is unchangeable, but your relationship to it is entirely up to you. Forgiving yourself for your past financial sins is the most strategic thing you can do for your future wealth. It clears the space in your subconscious so that the fertile soil we talked about earlier can finally start growing something new. And then there is the matter of forgiving others. This is the hard part, I know. Maybe you had a business partner who betrayed you, or a friend who disappeared after borrowing your savings. When you hold on to that anger, you think you're punishing them, but you're actually poisoning yourself. That resentment creates a blockage in your energetic flow. It's like a kink in a garden hose. No matter how much water, abundance, the universe tries to send you, it can't get through because of that knot of anger. Forgiving that person doesn't mean you agree with what they did, and it doesn't mean you have to be their friend again. It simply means you are cutting the cord. You are saying, I value my own peace and my own prosperity more than I value this grudge. When you release them, you release yourself. You stop being the victim of that past event and start being the sovereign creator of your future. As we move toward a joyful relationship with money, we must remember that the ultimate goal of wealth is not just to have a high number in a bank account. It's about freedom and joy. Many people treat money like a serious, heavy, and stressful burden. But what if we started playing with it? What if we saw money as a tool of celebration? Ken Honda teaches us that happy money is the money that creates smiles, both on your face and on the faces of others. Whether you're using it to buy a gift for someone you love, to invest in a course that expands your mind, or simply to treat yourself to a beautiful experience, that money is fulfilling its highest purpose. It is expanding the amount of joy in the world. To help you integrate all of this, let's look at the 10 secrets of happy money that Ken Honda shares at the end of his work. These are not magic formulas, they are habits of the soul. Always say thank you to money, both when it comes and when it goes. Trust the flow. Believe that the universe is abundant and there is always more where that came from. Invest in yourself. Your skills and your mindset are your greatest assets. Find your gift. When you do what you love, the money follows the joy. Forgive your debts and resentments. Clean the emotional slate. Spend with joy. Never let a transaction be fueled by guilt. Donate with gratitude. Sharing your wealth creates a vacuum that the universe must fill. Find a money mentor, someone who has a healthy, peaceful relationship with wealth. Visualize happy money. See it as a glowing, friendly energy in your life. Celebrate every win, no matter how small. Every cent is a sign of abundance. When you start applying these principles, you move from a survival cycle to a virtuous cycle. In the survival cycle, you work hard because you're afraid of lack, which makes the money unhappy, which makes you more stressed, which creates more lack. It's a downward spiral. But in the virtuous cycle, you are grateful for what you have, which makes the money happy, which makes you more creative and open, which attracts more opportunities and wealth. It's an upward spiral towards sovereignty. This is the path of the Zen Millionaire, and it is available to anyone regardless of their current balance. It's a choice of frequency. In my journey, I used to be a world-class worrier. I would check my bank account 3 times a day, looking for problems. I treated every bill like a personal attack from the universe. But when I started applying the arigato strategy and the principle of financial forgiveness, something shifted. I stopped seeing money as an enemy to be conquered and started seeing it as a partner to be loved. I realized that my fear was the only thing standing between me and the abundance I desired. Once I let go of the need to control the how and started focusing on the joy, the money began to show up in ways I couldn't have planned. I found that when I paid my my bills with a genuine smile of gratitude for the service I received, I would often receive an unexpected payment or a new client within 48 hours. It sounds like a coincidence, but after the 10th time, you realize it's a law. True wealth is a state of being. It is the peace of knowing that you are supported by a friendly universe. It is the joy of being able to say yes to life's opportunities. As we look toward 2026, the old ways of hustle and grind are being replaced by the ways of alignment and flow. You don't have to be a slave to your finances. You can be the master who speaks the language of abundance, who blesses every dollar that leaves, and who welcomes every dollar that arrives with an open heart. This is the essence of happy money. It's about transforming your wallet into a park of diversions instead of a battlefield. I hope this study of Ken Honda's wisdom has touched your heart as much as it touched mine. Remember, you aren't just managing currency, you are managing the life force of your own soul. Treat it with kindness, treat it with respect, and most importantly, treat it with joy. When you are happy with your money will be very, very happy to stay with you and bring all its friends along for the journey. You have the power to change your financial destiny starting right now with your very next thought. If this message of financial peace and joy resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel. We are building a community of creators who believe that wealth and spirituality go hand in hand. Let's walk this path of abundance together in 2026. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the books that actually change lives. The philosophy of happy money is a practice that requires daily focus. I've placed the link for Happy Money by Ken Honda in the first pinned comment below. I highly recommend getting a copy and keeping it on your nightstand as a reminder to always arigato your life. It's one of the best investments you'll ever make.